What's up? I want to talk about this supposedly 3,000-year-old Michael Jackson statue. Well, it's not a Michael Jackson statue. This is supposedly an ancient Egyptian statue of a woman, which seems suspicious to me that it's just now turning up. Before Michael Jackson died, I've never seen this before. But this is supposedly a 3,000-year-old ancient Egyptian statue of a woman, which I don't know if it's a woman or a man, but information on the internet, which I'll get into all that other stuff later. Information on the internet confirms that this is an ancient Egyptian bust on display at the Field Museum in Chicago. Has been the focus of interest since the star's death, as visitors double take at the eerie similarities between the 3,000-year-old statue and the singer. 3,000 years old, huh? It probably is. I don't know. But he keeps saying, okay, it says the lime statue, which depicts an unidentified woman, went on display at the museum in 1988 and was carved during the New Kingdom period dating from between 1550 BC and 1050 BC. Why, if it was there in 1988, why are we just now seeing this statue? Why is it just now coming to light? Seems kind of suspicious that we just now seeing this statue after Michael Jackson's death. I'm suspicious, y'all. Museum curator Jim Phillips and said staff had been inundated with inquiries from Jackson fans since the star's similarity to the bust were pointed out in a recent newspaper. Look, I didn't never hear of Michael Jackson recognizing this statue. I never heard of Michael Jackson even knowing about this statue. But let's say he did know about the statue. Maybe because Michael Jackson was a fan of Egypt. Remember the video? Do you remember the time of life when we fell in love? You know, so Michael Jackson was a fan of Egyptian. Was a fan of the Egyptians. Was an admirer of the Egyptians and art. And Michael Jackson was a very artful type of person, so he would love stuff like this. Now, this is so intriguing to me. Maybe this is, I have two theories. Maybe Michael Jackson saw this statue and tried to emulate the looks of it with his surgeries. Or maybe this person reincarnated into Michael Jackson and the spirit of this person was speaking through Michael Jackson and telling Michael Jackson to transform his face to look like he did back in ancient times. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But I do believe in those two possibilities. But you know, they say this is a woman. I believe Michael Jackson had feminine, was very, well, we all know he was very feminine. But I believe he had feminine and male, had strong feminine and male attributes within him. I believe he was woman and man at the same time. I think he was sort of like how they say early man was. Early man was formed as a unisex, having male and female genital parts. having male and female, well, just a male and female in one body. They say this the early man was like this, and Michael Jackson seems to be this male and female. He seems to be this male and female person within himself that contradicts itself and that pretty much is at odds with itself. You can tell by the eyebrow. What man arches their eyebrows? That's a female trait. I don't know if he thins his lips or not, but it looks like he thinned his lips. So you don't see males usually doing stuff like this. You don't see males wearing makeup like he wore makeup. And I personally believe he didn't have to get I personally believe he didn't have to lighten his skin. You know, the Jacksons, particularly Janet and Michael, are very alike. Even Michael Jackson said they are very similar. And they have this mental disease within them where they hate themselves. It's a sickness. Michael Jackson hated the way he looked when he was a young boy. He hated his nose. He had acne. But his nose was alright. It wasn't that bad. Come on. It's a little wide, so what? Still was nice looking. But Michael Jackson had a sickness. This is him at his best. You ain't gonna look no better than this. This is you at your best. This is Michael Jackson at his best. Now, he looked in the mirror and didn't like what he saw. It's a sickness. Same way with Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson looked in the mirror, didn't like what she saw. When she saw this, she didn't like what she saw. Something is wrong with these people. They have a sickness. Janet Jackson, I think she had another nose job, because her nose look real funny now. But Janet Jackson looked in the mirror and didn't like this image. I guess she thought she was fat. I don't know what she thought, but she didn't like it. I'm glad she didn't get more plastic surgeries like Mike. But it just goes to show you that her and Michael have some type of mental sickness within them that causes them to mutilate themselves. And it's sad. How can you not like that, Janet? Wow. How can you not like this, Michael? Wow. How can you go from that to this? And then Michael, it's reported that he didn't like this. Well, goddamn, you did it. You did it. Now you don't like it. It's weird, man. Michael Jackson reportedly said he looked like a lizard. He didn't like the way he looked. Well, it's the sickness, man. Michael was not satisfied. He was obsessed with his looks. He was not satisfied, and you couldn't help Michael. You couldn't tell Michael what to do. He was going to do this regardless. He didn't see a handsome man when he looked in the mirror. He didn't see a handsome person right here. He didn't see anything he liked. So he did this, and he didn't like this. So it was hopeless. He was a hopeless. In that regard, he was hopeless. I respect him as a talent, the greatest entertainer of all time. But it's just intriguing. This statue is intriguing. I think possibly he may have seen this statue and wanted to look and try to emulate it. Or like I said before, this person reincarnated themselves into Michael Jackson, and they end up telling him to have the surgeries. He had a premonition to go have surgeries to look like he did in ancient times. I don't know if he knew about this statue or not, but he should have. If you know, he should have. He should have knew about this statue. but it's so eerie how much it looks just like Micheal, man. And I wonder if we don't know anything about this person. I wonder if he or she was an entertainer back in the ancient days, back in ancient Egypt. That would be real. That would say a lot. That will tell you that he reincarnated into Michael Jackson. It would be awesome if this guy or girl was a entertainer back in the ancient Egypt days. Back in ancient Egypt, that would be so incredible to find out. But you don't find out any information on this particular person except that it's a 3,000-year-old statue, and they say it's a woman. So that's it, man. Very interesting, I think. Peace.